Hi there. So I hope the lighting and things are okay. I'm improvising here big time. I've got coffee table on a coffee table to try and do this. So I'm in a hotel room, as you can see. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, or actually I'm just outside Phoenix, and I'm on my way to London to meet the Italian, which is a whole other story. But I've just finished my mastermind and I'm absolutely buzzing. So I really wanted to jump on and say hello to you and to just share a little bit. Like I said, my brain is buzzing. And one of the things people always say to me, you go all the way to the US and you do those all-nighters, and why do you do it? Are you crazy? Which, the answer could be yes, depending on the day. But here is why I do it. The way I feel today is 100% why I do it. I woke up at really silly o'clock and my brain was just buzzing. So I got up and I've been working away and filling index cards. And, I was thinking about it and I bumped into some of my fellow masterminders, and it's always sad to see them go. And, an enormous amount of gratitude. My brain has been expanded. My life has been expanded for the time that I've been with them. But most importantly, and the reason I do all this, is my business has been expanded. I went for a walk earlier and I thought, each time I come, I go back and my life has changed and my business has changed. And I was fortunate enough to also spend time with a mentor while I was here. And that's been just invaluable. So we communicate over Zoom most of the time. But I was there and I was chatting to different people, and they've got mega successful businesses. And I made a point, I had a couple of questions that I really wanted to ask. And that's how my brain works. I like to really research. And one of the things that I asked them was, do you have a mentor? Have you always had a mentor? And one of them was talking about a particular big crisis that her business went through. And, she immediately got a call from somebody mega successful with solutions. She also had the support of her mastermind. And it did make me think back to when our business went through absolute crises back in 2014, and how much different my entire situation would be had I had a mentor that I could really count on to help me work through it. Instead, it took us years to muddle our way through. And then, of course, I found this group and I'm not letting go. Having a mentor is such an incredible game changer. I just can't stress it enough. And if it's not me, find somebody else, but really do find a mentor, and then find a mastermind or find a group, whether it's group coaching or whatever it is. And yes, I do offer them, but even if it's not with me, like I said, it's so invaluable. And I think it's the difference between having a really small business and absolutely scaling. I was incredibly fortunate, and I ended up in a hot seat at the front of the room. And so I had all of these amazing business minds, and of course the leader of the entire thing, all looking at my business and what I should be doing. And I went with a particular problem, and talk about hive mind and super brain trust. I got really solid, consistent advice. Many of them said exactly the same thing to me. And so I'd be crazy, of course, not to listen to it. And so as a result, my business model has just changed. And another thing that I've realized in recent months, and I've made a point of asking everybody I know who has a 7, 8 and beyond business, 7 or 8 figure and beyond, I asked them, each time you went from one level to the next level, did you change your business model? And at this point in time, the response is 100% say, yes, we did. We changed the business model. So try it. Ask people with 7, 8 figure businesses. And so, of course, after this week, my business model will now change as a result of that absolute brain trust. So feeling incredibly Like I said, grateful and energized and fired up. And just think, if you're in business alone, one of the biggest problems that we have is just that we are alone. At the end of the day, the buck stops with us. You know, we're trying, we're juggling, we're facing many things. If you're a woman in business like me, you're also facing things that are going on with family and friends and relatives. And, you know, there's other fires that we always have burning that we're dealing with. So our priorities shift sometimes on a daily basis, and still we can build a 6-7 figure business. And I really feel like, and this is how we do it, we get that brains trust around us, and they support us no matter what. So, like I mentioned earlier, I'm off to London to meet the Italian. We're going to have a week in England where I grew up, and then we're going to go off to Italy in his neck of the woods. We're celebrating our 40th anniversary. We work together. So as we're doing hikes and things, we'll be talking about what I've learned and how we'll implement it and how it'll change our business and change our lives. And there's no better place to do that than, you know, along the Italian countryside or something exciting like that. But I really wanted to share with you, and my call to action to you is find yourself a great business mentor and invest in yourself and your business, because the difference is phenomenal. You know, you're not going to be able to do it on your own. And I look back now and I think, gosh, it's like 9 years since we hit really bad times. And it took us, I think, 4 years or something like that, you know, to limp through it. And I couldn't help, as I was listening to different things and thinking, gosh, if I'd have had this behind me back then. So learn from me and get that support. And if you are interested in working with me one-on-one, you know, just send me a message, go to my website. I would love to do that and make sure that you have got the support that you need, because we all need it, every single one of us. Anyway, you have an awesome day and week. I'm going to go pack to get myself to the airport. Take care. Bye-bye.